It will be live.
Okay.
So it's preparing to live stream. I'm just hoping it go. Meeting is streaming. I think I'm already live, but let's see. It's preparing to go live. Let's see. Just waiting here. And let's see here. Live, but let's see. It's preparing to go live. All right. Thank you guys so very much for joining me today. My name is Gellis, and of course, this is Infinite Modesty Design. So I have another lovely guest with me today, and of course, she's another special guest because she will definitely be telling us a lot of good things today, and I would definitely allow her to introduce herself. And I'm excited to have her on the show today. So welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I would definitely allow you to introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you, Gellis. My name is. I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's an opportunity to actually talk about what I do. My name is Bunmi. I am from Nigeria, but I live in the States. I live in Houston, Texas, and yes, I sew. I'm a fashion designer. I sew male, female kids. That's what I do basically. And it's been a while I've been at it.
Excellent, excellent. So thank you so much for joining me today, Bunmi, right?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So you see why I'm saying she's a special guest. She's also a fashion designer. She sews, and definitely I love when I connect with people who actually pretty much have the same interests like me. So that's what makes today even more special as well. So thank you so much, Bunmi, for joining me today.
Thank you
All
for
right.
having
So
me.
all right, yeah. So you know what I'm going to ask you, of course, I'm going to ask you how you get started in sewing and fashion, because that's one of the question I get asked, numerous times, or sometimes I have to introduce to my students how I get started. So I have the opportunity to ask you, how did you get started in the sewing and fashion world?
Okay, so well, I can't really say this was the exact time I got started, but I know the period. I know when I was a little girl, I think I was like 9 years then, we usually make this uniform for Christmas. So my mom had made the native wrapper and blouse for what the ones we wear back in Nigeria. And I
Right.
remembered making a sleeveless dress out of it for my younger sister. My younger sister was like 2 then. I
Right.
tried to use a machine we had at home, but I couldn't make it work. So I used my hand to sew it.
Okay.
That was that about that. I did not even think about sewing again until about 20 years or so down after that. So
Right.
what happened was I had gone to serve. There's this thing we call service in Nigeria. Once you finish your college course, you
Right.
go to serve. It's a compulsory service. And I just picked the interest there. And when I started working, like working because I had studied engineering in school, so I was working in an engineering firm. I somehow came across this huge sewing book at home that I
Mm.
was taking to work every day, and I usually take the bus to work. The book was so big, and I'll take it to work. I'll bring it back home every day just because I was there was this thing in me, there was this passion about sewing in me that I was just curious about how it came to be. And then I had to leave the work after 4 months because I needed me to go learn. I
Okay.
needed I needed I needed a chance to go learn.
Right.
And I lived in a country then that you can't do things simultaneously. Like maybe you working in the morning and during your 9 to 5, then you come back home to come learn because we
Mhm.
didn't have all this online access like that. So
Right.
it's
Right.
either
Yeah.
the sewing or my work, my 9 to 5. So I had to leave my 9 to 5 to go learn
Oh.
something. That was in 2010.
Right. Right.
Actually, during the period I was taking the book back and forth to my office, I had gotten a sewing machine. So I took
Mhm.
the measurements of one of my cousins to make a dress for her. But by
Mhm.
the time I finished the dress, I don't know what made me think I could make a dress without learning. So by the time I finished the dress could barely size a 2-year-old. So my cousin was like maybe 5 years. So like, how did I go from this measurement to this measurement? That was one of the reasons why I said I need to go learn.
Right,
And
right, right.
that's
Yeah.
how I found myself here.
Okay, you know what? I love that story. How did you start with this measurement to a 2-year-old measurement? You know what? We all start somewhere, and that is your story. So I love that. So thank you so much for sharing. So excellent. So we see that her field is in engineering, as she mentioned, and she had this passion, that drive for sewing. And you know, and Bumi, and it's a good thing you mentioned that, because usually I get a lot of people, even currently on Facebook, will say, you know, I don't have the time. I don't have the I always have this passion to sew. I always have this desire to sew, but I don't have the time, my work, my this or my that. What would you say to anyone, like just and as an advice to anyone that actually want to have that passion, that burning desire to actually start creating, right? But they tell themselves, oh, no, I don't have the time. You know, work, school, life, husband, and so on and so on. What advice would you give to anyone? Just, you know, out of the top of your head.
Okay, so my case was different because I didn't have much responsibility at the time, so I could leave my
Right,
school to go learn.
right.
But now with all the responsibilities that every individual have, I would say take it one day at a time.
There
You
you
don't
go.
have to learn everything at once. Whatever time, if it's something that you really want to do, if you are driven by that passion,
Right,
if you can just give it at least a week, 3 weeks, a week, 3 hours in a week,
right.
take it a little bit, just one day at a time, just propose in your mind that, oh, this is what you want to learn for
Mhm.
this month, and you take it gradually. You don't have to give a specific time to it and let go of maybe your work or the bills are still going to come in. So
Right.
you need to commit to it, because I know I've been sewing for a long time, but I still learn every day. I love it. I love learning new things. So there's no need for you to leave whatever it is you're doing. Just take it one day at a time. If it's 3 hours a week, gradually it could be weekends. Just take it one day and give it that time. Not and make sure you're not distracted during that time. Gradually, you get to where you want to get to.
Absolutely. So well said. I love what you said. You said, you know, just give it, if it's 3 hours a week, and I love that. You didn't say 3 hours a day, 3 hours a week. You could even break down half an hour each day, because you have that passion, you have that drive. So well said. And also you said that, of course, we have bills to pay. So it's not about just dropping your job and just decide I'm gonna, no, we all have to just, you know, at the end of the day, step by step. And one thing I love what you said again is that you learn every day.
Yes.
You are a seamstress, you make garment. And the reason why I want to stress on that too, because I have people call me or come to my studio and say, I want to learn everything about sewing. And
Oh,
I would say, well, I want to learn everything about sewing too. You understand what I mean? Because you know, some individual, and that's okay. If you're not in a field, you wouldn't even know, right? It's like you an engineer, I wouldn't know anything about engineering. You would probably have to teach me. And then I'm in nursing as well. Then, you know, maybe I would have to, I could give you a few tips or something that you wouldn't know about. It's the same thing. We are in the sewing world. We are in the fashion world. I
yes.
would tell my students, you want to learn everything. Well, I want to learn everything as well.
Mm-hmm.
Every day is a learning
Every day.
process. That's
Every
the
day.
beauty about this field.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And
the beauty about this
that is
field.
one thing I would like to chip in. I remember when I was learning to sew, and I see the things they do, even though I was driven by passion. At the time, I was a little bit discouraged. I was like, I don't think I can learn this because I've tried it. It keeps getting off. I did not learn it. One thing they told me,
Tell
it
me.
takes time. Just keep
Right.
practicing. I've come to realize that practice does make perfect, truly. Just keep practicing. And before you know it, by the time I learned that thing, I didn't even realize that, oh, I already know how to do this thing. It just became easy breezy. Like, I just keep doing, me. Now I learn a lot of things. I develop things myself, things I didn't
Mhm.
learn. I feel like, oh, how did I get to know this? Well, you borrow from people like you all over. You just take here, take here,
I
take
know.
here.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. So I love what you said again. Definitely. So everything's take time. I
Yes.
you'll get in this some, because the thing is I teach students. So I'm only saying, and I'm saying it in good faith, of course, right? Someone may say, I start this project and I just get frustrated. And the thing is that continue, go back to that project, put it down sometime, no problem, walk away if you need to, then come back, you have a new insight of that project, right?
Yes.
Because we're all human beings.
Yes. Even now, I still have those kind of issues. There are some
Tell me
things you
about it.
do. Even
I do
now,
the same thing. My sister, I do the same thing, the exact same thing.
yeah.
So
And the other thing is, for people that are starting out, it's always good to start with little projects. Don't start with projects that will frustrate you. Then
Right.
start with easy breezy fabrics. Don't start with fabrics that are like chiffon, silk, moving
Exactly.
all over the place. You have already set up yourself to just frustrate yourself. Don't start with
Exactly.
fabrics that are cotton,
Right.
that will follow you, that would obey whatever it is that you want to do.
Exactly. I like that, would obey. Exactly. Of course, they said, well said. So this is wisdom, guys. So definitely you hear that from someone have been in the sewing and fashion world. She actually does custom made clothing just to kind of get you guys an insight. And even though she almost I'm pretty sure she sew every day, she still said that there are times she had to walk away from certain thing, come back, and also she learned every day. So sewing doesn't happen. It doesn't happen when you start a project and you get frustrated with the project. You decide, I don't want sewing again. No, go back, and it's a learning process. So thank you so much for sharing that wisdom today for us. I really, I'm very much encouraged. So thank you so much.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So we're gonna go a little bit about her custom made clothing. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, and she's a girl who sells beautiful, beautiful prints. And one thing I will let you know is that I had this dress behind me, of course. And of course, I bought that fab when I saw the fabric, because I met you on your Facebook page, because you also have a Facebook page.
Yes.
And also, I'm going to also get the information and link it so people could connect with you as well. So when I saw the fabric, I said, I asked her, and I decided, you know what? Let me look around in Canada to probably see if I get any fabric. And I couldn't find it in Canada, to be honest with you, the places I usually go. And I had to buy this fabric. I think I couldn't buy one, I couldn't buy two. How much did I buy? I think I buy 5.
Yes.
Yes, I just had to shop because I don't know when I'm going to see it again. So she's a lady that sells beautiful, beautiful prints. And this is one of the prints we have in our dressmaking online course. And we'll talk about it, of course, as we go along. So I'm going to give her the floor to talk a lot about, educate us on your fabric. I want to know, I want to see some of the prints you have. I want you to talk so people could actually find out more about you, and possibly, you never know, to probably get some fabric for themselves as well.
Okay, all right. Let me start
Right.
with. Okay, let me start with the one you have at your back, in another color.
Okay, no problem.
So I know this fabric is kind of irresistible, but this is one of the fabrics. This is the same one Gellis has at her back, but it's in blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow. And I have that one as well. It's so I make it for my boy. It's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So usually it's woven fabric, 100% cotton. Because it's woven, it doesn't have any give.
Right.
Yes, but it has a little bit of give along the selvage. Across the selvage. Okay. So let me show you some of the colorful prints I have. I'm usually excited to show people the prints. Yes, I do have some at my back right here.
Okay.
But this is where I've stored most of them.
Okay. Ooh. Voila.
Yes. So this is some of the prints. Some I have them in quantities. Some they're just 1 or 2 pieces. I love prints. I love prints. I got here. I couldn't find prints easily in the States. That was when I decided to go into the business of prints. So these are all the prints.
Fantastic.
I don't know if I could bring some of them out. Let me show you a few. Okay.
Sure.
I have one here.
That is gorgeous.
So usually they have the name of the manufacturer or the company at the top. And it usually comes in 6 yards. Sometimes you can get it by the yard, but mostly it comes in 6 yards. 6 yards like this. This one. They are always colorful. Always colorful. Right. That's the beauty of it. Okay, I'm wearing one.
I could see that. Is that a wrap skirt or a dress?
It's a dress, a frill dress.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, girl.
Frill dress with the
nice. I love the sleeve, of course. All right. Yeah, this is a fantastic print.
So usually those tiny prints are usually beautiful to mix with the bolder prints.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, well, let me see. I do have more, but I wouldn't want to keep all of us on here because this could take forever. But these are all There are a lot of prints, and I never get satisfied. I am always looking for prints.
I'm
Or
telling
even though I have this much, the next thing, if my suppliers tell me they have new prints, I'm like, send me pictures. I know you have this much. God help me when it comes to the prints.
I'm telling
So,
you.
you said what?
I love the prints. I love the prints. Excellent. All right. So fantastic. So you sell, so she sell the prints. So do you have like an online place where you sell the prints, or do you just sell it in your group?
Okay, I have an online group.
Right.
Where I sell it mostly, I sell on Etsy. But usually because of the charges of Etsy, it's a little bit there. So I don't focus much on Etsy. You understand? So the group is where the prices are reasonable because it's just PayPal charges. Then I also have a website which I took down this last month. I'm trying to update it with some items that are not done.
Okay.
So I would send you all the links.
No problem.
All right, so that you can, or I could send it as we're talking now, so that I don't know how you're gonna.
Yeah, don't worry. We're gonna connect. I'm gonna send it, and then I could link it so people could actually contact you as well for sure. And yeah, with the SD, because I do have an SD store as well, and it's not easy with prices and this and that. So, but I think I did check out your SD store briefly. But I know because I have an SD store for a while and selling, and it's not easy. So let's just leave it like that. It's not easy. All right, fabulous. So there you go. So she's the African print lady. You want to get fabulous, fantastic prints. And like she said, she constantly buying prints. So she's always, how do you put it? She's always fresh.
Yes.
She's always fresh. There you go. There you go. Fantastic. All right. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. All right. So we're going to wrap up here in a little bit. Another thing I want to ask you is that how do you view sewing online, learning to sew online? That's the question I wanted to ask you. Do you think it's something that is, especially with the pandemic time, do you think it's something that is it's feasible, something that can be done? People could actually stay in their home, like you and I, probably you teaching me or I teaching you. Do you think it's something that anyone could actually accomplish, learning to sew online?
Well, okay, so sewing online I feel it has two parts. There are those that are already pre-recorded videos that people go to watch. I don't really recommend that for people that they don't have an idea of, or they don't know much about sewing, because learning this has to be interactive. I need to be able to ask questions and I get them answered as I'm asking, not hours later or. So the thing is, because of the pandemic and for people that they don't have the time to go learn, they just need, like the ones I cited, that I said at least 3 hours a week. If it's just 30 minutes a day, if they can find a convenient class where they can do online training, a live training, then this is a good time. I mean, the pandemic has actually made us see opportunities beyond one-on-one training. You understand? So the advantage of a live training will be you get to be asked to ask questions and you are responded to live. Because I watch YouTube videos. As I said, I learn every time. I've done Craftsy. Craftsy now, they have pre-recorded videos. You still go there, you watch it. You might not get a response immediately. And sometimes you just want to get that project out of the way. You just need an answer to that particular thing and get it out of the way. So I feel that one-on-one online classes is good at the moment that we can't reach out to each other physically. It's a plus for us because it actually helps you to manage your time. You don't have to spend some hours going or driving to the place and coming back. Out of the time you don't have, you don't need to spend that much time going back and forth. So long you have the audience and the attention you need from your teacher. Yes. Absolutely.
So well said, guys. So you see, sewing online, especially with a coach, is definitely something that is recommended, I would say. As she said, if you're a beginner and you just want to, go to YouTube video, or maybe even to go to Crafty, like she said, she did Crafty. You want to ask questions. You want to know, well, why this is done, how this is done. Can you show me? Maybe I will show you a better angle. You can ask questions, but when you have someone live teaching you step by step, is definitely the way to go. So well said, Bunmi. Thank you so much for sharing for me. I am so excited that you came on the show today. I'm so excited for the fabric because I'm a fabric girl too. Girl, I have so much fabric here. But trust me,
I know, right?
I am.
We never get enough fabrics.
You could just never get enough, especially when those prints are beautiful. Forget, I'll be shopping away. So thank you so much. So last straw here, I just want to ask you, do you have any final word to tell anyone? Like, do you want to, like, someone, again, sewing, whether the person have been thinking of sewing or wanting to sew or start a class or anything, do you have any final words to tell anyone who actually thinking about getting into that sewing world? Anything at all? Any encouragement, anything you want to say?
Okay, so if you've been thinking about it, the only thing I can say off my head is just start.
There you
You
go.
don't have to be perfect. You don't need to have everything you need to start. Just start. Until you start, then you can see progress. If you've not started, you don't know how far you'll be going. Just start. You don't even have to have a name for it. You just keep going. I started here in 2015 with one machine, and I have 4 now.
Right. We thank God for that.
Just start. Just start.
Absolutely. Yes. So there you go, folks. Just start. That's the key. That is the key. And as she say, 3 hours a week or half an hour a day, however you want to break it up, just start. Yes. Excellent. Well said. Now, this is the final question I'm going to ask you. What is your sense of accomplishment in sewing? What is your happy place? So do you find peace in sewing? Is there anything you want to say that when you're in your happy place, you're sewing something for your daughter? Let's just put it for your daughter, your little princess. What is your sense of accomplishment in sewing?
Okay, so for my daughter, I think she kind of give me that sense of accomplishment I want to talk about. I like when we go out and we're twinning, like we are in Mommy and Me outfit. So I always look forward to that. And then she's just 2, but she loves taking pictures. You understand? So I'm always looking forward to the pictures that we're going to take in those outfits and sharing it out there. You understand? So that's like something I look forward to. And because of that, I am always eager to get those things done. You understand?
There you go. Oh, I love that. I know, same with my little girl as well. So excellent. Well said. All right. So there you have it with Bunmi here today. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It was such an excellent conversation. I love all your prints. So definitely, guys, I'll be linking her information down below where you could, reach out to her and get more about her service, her sewing service, as well as her fabric as well. So the last thing I want to say for me, I would say definitely there's peace in sewing. Sewing is definitely my happy place. I love sewing. I love teaching. That's why, as she said, we in this pandemic, we cannot move around too much. And I'm trying to bring my sewing online, and it has been going. So I'm very, very happy to share my sewing, of course, with anyone who is looking to actually learn sewing online. And of course, you could definitely go to her for your fabric, order your fabric so that you could come to our class and make your beautiful garment. Last thing I want to say as well is that there is also peace in Jesus Christ. Why? Because he is the Prince of Peace. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I want to thank you again, my dear. Thank you so much. All right. So definitely we'll see on my next live. So take care, guys.